African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
Beautiful is your name. Wonderful is what you are to me. It's you I see in my dreams every day, and I pray for you, queen of my life. You are so beautiful, mama. You're beautiful. Emi wa mama kan. Talori yeah. Mama mi o roju ri. That is why I'm loving you. Nítorí ọmọ ó jìyà nílé ọkọ. Mama mi ò rojú rí. That is why I'm loving you. La 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi. Òrìṣà bí kíá o, kò sí láyé. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi. Òrìṣà bí kíá o, kò sí láyé. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Whoa, woman, there is no one like you. Oh, woman, there is no one like you. Nítorí ọmọ ó jìyà nílé ọkọ. Màmá mi ò rojú rí. That is why I'm loving you. Nítorí ọmọ ó jìyà nílé ọkọ. Màmá mi ò rojú rí. And that is why I'm loving you. La 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh yeah, la 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 la. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, you're beautiful. Ẹ bá mi kíra fún màmá mi.
every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Bwana coming in by Kajanine, bringing us to 11 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Africa time. If you've just joined us, hello to you and yours. Welcome to African Diaries. Sheila Ndikumana keeping you company. It is time for us to take a quick breather, some music, and when we get back, we scribe in our diaries.
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu maswala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
That is, you know. Tune into the king of songs and blues.
Initiating rage process.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. 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 And I'm sorry for who won't be my matter. Sorry, I'm only human. So make nobody para. Say I carry woman. She na man way I for carry. Fuck all the rumors. I need that when I talk, say I be pastor. If you know, you know. It can walk. If it's not, oh, I got talk. Call the one, go. You're me, and the body, they get I'm unavailable. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
Taking my life. How do I have no time, Shania? Come see me shining. Got too many birds on my IG. Changing my life. Oh, how my mama proud in it. She got me going. This fan took all my freedom. Cause I'm a big propeller. Straight for rumors. Good go jealous. Got a deep banana. I'm a big propeller. Straight for rumors. Good go jealous. Got a deep banana. Cause I'm a big propeller. Straight for rumors. Good go jealous. Got a deep banana. I'm a big propeller. Straight for tonight. What the fuck? Chicka chee.
I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me. I'm unavailable. They know they see me.
It is 15 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Africa time. Davido coming in with that one titled Unavailable. It is time for us to scribe in our diaries. Dear African Diary, most of us are searching for that one person who feels like home, where care comes easy, love is soft, and acceptance is not up for negotiation. But the truth, many of us are loved, just not as we are. And the reality is that we accepted in part. Truly speaking, that's a deal breaker for me. Because if I have to edit myself to be with you, soften this, hide that, perform a version of me that only fits you and your comfort, then I'm not safe there. I've tried it before. It's expensive, not just on the pocket, but on the soul. I've learned this. Anyone can love you when you're winning. Anyone can love you when you're convenient, when you're confident, when you are top of your game, when you are actually on. But intimacy is being loved when you're unsure, when you're tired, when you're afraid. It's being fully seen and not slowly rejected for it. Real love is having one place, one person, where strength is not the entry fee, where you don't always have to hold it together, because sometimes the deepest form of love is being allowed to fall apart.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Tell umoya kubantwana bakho njengokuba wenzile nakimi unomono akayeka wanamona akayeka unimeta fuminimeta ilimeta autometa. Shout out to my family and my man, them. To the ones where they sing my song and the ones that dance along. From Lagos, Nigeria down to South Africa. With the big, I want them in Barcelona. No wahala, I get the money for Waza. On my prayers, I go celebrate and dance. Yeah, woman. Yeah, woman.
Twenty minutes after 10 p.m. Central Africa time. This one titled Meta alongside Sophia Nzau, as well as Fireboy DML. Nomcebo Zigode on that one. Let's take a quick breather. When we get back, we get into our recap.
Este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África, com Remo Samo e João Yabalá.
Moçambique prepara-se para a chegada do ciclone tropical Gezane, prevista para esta sexta-feira, com impacto esperado nas províncias de Sofala, Inhambane e Gaza. O fenómeno, que já causou mais de 30 mortes de destruição significativa em Madagascar, poderá atingir o litoral moçambicano, com ventos de 140 km por hora e chuvas intensas, afetando cerca de 1,1 milhão de pessoas. A aproximação do ciclone surge numa altura em que o país ainda recupera das cheias de janeiro, que provocaram dezenas de mortos e afetaram mais de 700 mil pessoas. Para fazer o ponto de situação, ouvimos Rita Almeida, diretora de Planificação e Cooperação do Instituto Nacional de Gestão e Redução de Riscos de Desastres.
As famílias devem reforçar o teto das casas, as portas e as janelas. Devem evitar fazer-se tanto à rua, devem prestar atenção sobre as orientações em relação a centros de acomodação temporário, devem preparar um kit mínimo básico com fósforos, produtos alimentares, medicamentos.
De segunda a sexta-feira, das 20 às 21 horas locais, este é o Caleidoscópio de Canal África. Zilipendwa na Abedi Jean de la Croix.
Historia msikilizaji ya Valentine Day au siku ya wapendanao ilianzia katika nyakati za kale za dola la Roma. Watafiti wengi wa historia wanaamini kuwa siku hii inahusishwa na sherehe za kipagani zilizokuwa zikifanyika kila mwaka katikati ya mwezi Februari. Msikilizaji, sherehe hizo zilijulikana kama Lupercalia na zilifanyika kuadhimisha uzazi, upendo na mwanzo wa majira ya kuchipua.
Zilipendwa kila Jumamosi kuanzia saa 12 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati hadi saa 1 kamili majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Africa's voices, Africa's journeys. They're all on African Diaries.
We kickstart off with our Rise and Shine team on this evening's update, and that's our daily recaps. Now, today, as South Africa's Minister of Finance, Enoch Godongwana, delivers the national budget, questions were being raised about the future of the health promotion levy, alongside many other things. And so a conversation between Peter Ndoro as well as Bilal Mpazayabo, who is the media coordinator at Healthy Living Alliance, is what transpired.
Let's start with this health promotion levy. I don't think a lot of people know about it, but I believe, according to the WHO, there's probably 116 countries across the world that have adopted it. Why was it introduced? What is it trying to do? Who pays it? And what is it supposed to try and solve?
Thank you for having me. As we head into Budget 2026, we need to be clear. A lot of people think the health promotion levy is just a tax. It's not just a tax. It's one of the most important public health tools South Africa has to prevent NCDs such as diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. And we feel that weakening it now would mean short-term industry pressure over long-term protection. So it's introduced for sugar manufacturers. It's a tax specifically on sugar-sweetened beverages, and it's to prevent the overconsumption of sugary drinks.
Keeping things on the move, Hotel Etiquette 101, from city getaways to luxury business trips. More Africans are now more than ever looking to step into these spaces. And so the team had an opportunity to touch base with traveler. This is Leshivaya, who's a travel journalist and editor and the author of Boy on the Run.
That we leave our homes for whatever reason to go spend time in these shared luxury spaces. Why is it important to actually think about how we behave and the things that we do when we are at this hotel, this B&B, this getaway space?
Thank you so much for having me, and very good morning to your viewers as well. I think it's absolutely vital that when traveling, we really think of other guests, because the whole point of etiquette is to kind of adapt norms and behaviors that make, experiences that are shared with other people pleasant, or rather to avoid unnecessary unpleasantness or being uncomfortable. Yeah. So in this age of content, it's so easy to think of the perfect shot that you can be inconsiderate of other guests' experience.
Absolutely. Then we move on to Africa Update. A new university study by the University of Free State has found that hormone-disrupting chemicals are found in sanitary pads and panty liners. And so Lulu Gabu was joined by the Team Free Sanitary Pads founder. This is Nokuzola Ndwandwe.
So your reaction when you saw this research study, what went through your mind?
It was a sigh of relief, because we've had this information for a very long time by international researchers. I've been educating young girls and women on the content contained in the menstrual products and the chemicals and the toxic dioxins that are found in menstrual products since way back from 2023. However, it's the first time we've had the actual research being conducted locally in our country, and also with the specified brands being listed and actually publicized to inform the public of what we've been actually preaching and educating young girls and women, especially in rural communities and in schools.
And then lastly, with the Upside team, the South African Chefs Association has unveiled bold 2026 plans, including hosting the African Culinary Cup in Cape Town and strengthening global ties to the World Chefs Congress in Wales. The team had an opportunity to speak to Chef Kupele, who is the president of SA Chefs.
Let's give context to those who are listening for the first time and want to know the work of the SA Chefs Association. You know, they may be listening from Angola, from Burkina Faso, Mozambique, and they're just not familiar with the work that you're doing. Please paint a picture for us of the work of the SA Chefs Association.
So the SA Chefs Association is the professional body that represents all cooks, chefs, and caterers within the South African hospitality and culinary sector, and that's made up of professional chefs, not really home cooks, but cooks that have the trade, caterers, as well as culinary students and schools, and SA Chefs gives you the platform through various sectors and avenues within the hospitality industry. So be it through training programs, be it through accreditation, be it through events, and more importantly, and I think why we're going to be talking about is competitions. And I think competitions for any young chef is a great platform, to elevate your career to the next level, to participate on not just the national stage, but also have the opportunity of participating and representing your country on the global stage.
29 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Africa time. That sums up our recap. If you want to find these stories and many more, please do head over to our YouTube page, Channel Africa. Simply head over to the video section and you should be able to find your conversation of interest. Otherwise, learn more about the station. Find us on www.channelafrica.co.za. In just a short bit, we will be unraveling two books. The first titled Unbound Heart and the second titled Letters to Her. And we'll see how these will assist us in our day-to-day navigation of relationships.
Love music, love culture, love life. Because you on Channel Africa, the African perspective.
Sugar daddy. Yeah. Dilly dally, yeah. Puff, puff, pass. My Mary Jane. I'm high on life. Wanna meditate. So allow me, make I enjoy life. Cause problem not the finish, oh. Every day different wahala. Problem not the finish, oh. I just wanna party every day. I just wanna party every day. So pass me the dutchie. Pretty girl, come wine pon the cocky. 10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Pass me the dutchie. Pretty girl, come wine pon the cocky. 10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Shut up and bend over. Let your back do the talking over. So back up and bend over. Let your back do the talking over. Say, I want to chop my life. I want to be happy. I want to dance and party. Feel the rhythm of my body. I just wanna party every day. I just wanna party every day. So pass me the dutchie. Pretty girl, come wine pon the cocky. 10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Pass me the dutchie. Pretty girl, come wine pon the cocky. 10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Puff, puff, pass. My Mary Jane. I'm high on life. Wanna meditate. So allow me, make I enjoy life. Cause problem not the finish, oh. Every day them not the finish, oh. Pass me the dutchie. Pretty girl, come wine pon the cocky. 10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Pass me the dutchie. Pretty girl, come wine pon the cocky. 10 toes, one girl, make it touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it, touch it. Puff, puff, pass.
Your life, your rhythm, your Africa. Channel Africa. Find it for free on Google Play and the Apple App Store. African Diaries. Weekdays, 10 till midnight.
La pela ikande lo ngilindile awusafi la vuta la zelape ikande la lo ngilindile tembala awusafi yabona manje ngikhanyisa lo qina umoya wami uyolala umnyame mawungaqina ungafika nyotumala ikande lo ngilindile awusafi la vuta la zelape ikande la lo ngilindile tembala awusafi yabona manje ngikhanyisa lo qina umoya wami uyolala umnyame mawungaqina ungafika nyotumala
Strava coming in, and this one titled Ikandlela alongside Fatso and Bongani. Before that, we had Kiddy taking us to Nigeria, and that song titled Touch It. It is 37 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Africa time. If you've just joined us, thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. Welcome to African Diaries. A quick breather. Then we're going to be focusing on two books, but above and beyond the work, the life, and the times of Dr. Nicholas Neves, who's going to help us better understand relationships, yes?
Je, una jambo lolote akilini mwako? Je, una shauku kuhusu maswala muhimu? Na je, una maoni ambayo unataka yasikike? Kweli, hili jukwaa ni la kwako. Piga simu au tuandikie kwenda WhatsApp namba alama ya kujumulisha 2760552594 na tutakupigia simu.
Mtangazaji wa habari zetu za Afrika Kusini mjini Johannesburg.
Hivyo unaweza kuwa mshirika kwenye matangazo yetu. Sio mazungumzo tu, ni fursa yako ya kuchangia maoni yako na kushirikiana na jumuiya ya wasikilizaji wanaotamani mtazamo wako. Tufuate kwenye mitandao ya kijamii. Tembelea tovuti yetu www.channelafrica.co.za na uwe tayari kushiriki na kuchangia maoni yako kwenye Channel Africa. Channel Africa, mtazamo wa Kiafrika.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.
38 minutes after 10 p.m. Central Africa time. I told you that this hour we would be focusing on two books, Unbound Heart and the other being Letters to Her. And the idea really is to look at how we can strengthen relationships, particularly in contexts of loss. Now, the book Unbound Heart explores how past heartbreak, abandonment, rejection, and unmet needs shape the way we love as adults. Dr. Nicholas Neves argues that many people are not afraid to love and are not afraid of love itself, but they're more afraid of being unsafe in love. And then the book Letters to Her by Dr. Nicholas Neves is written as a series of reflective letters. This book speaks directly to her, the woman who has overextended herself emotionally. She stayed too long, she loved too hard, or she doubted her own worth. Dr. Nicholas Neves is a homeopath and narrative therapist with over 25 years experience in this particular sphere and industry. And he joins us this evening to unpack the reality of relationships and how we can strengthen these. I think even with yourself, because Letters to Her strikes me as that kind of book, one that will encourage you to look at self and begin to appreciate who you are. Doctor, before I get ahead of myself, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to African Diaries.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
Let's start off with just giving an overview, of course, in your own words, of the two books. I want to start with Letters to Her. In your context, how do you describe this book to somebody who is asking?
Well, I would say it's certainly an invitation into a deeper connection and intimacy between two people. Her, in inverted commas, would be the other. And so it's about the reflection of self and the self-awareness of our own internal dynamic and how that impacts the other. I think there's far too many of us running around a little unconscious as to how we actually impact another person, and we don't slow ourselves down enough to actually understand what the relationship's truly about and what an opportunity, privilege, and gift it is to come into a relationship with somebody else. I think all too often we go into the relationship and we unfortunately play out a lot of roles that are unresolved from our earlier years in life.
Yeah.
And so we often objectify the other person, and sadly we ultimately can also hurt them due to our own sort of selfish, uncovered areas of our own lives. And so the letters are an awakening. They are a dance between two people and a polarity between the sexes also. And I think the key word there is definitely invitation. I think it's such a beautiful framework to work from, is I offer you an invitation to join me in something deeper versus you have to join me or why didn't you join me? But it's, hey, I'm over here. Would you like to join me? Come have a cup of tea. This is where I'm at. Where are you? Let's have a conversation, And yeah, it was a 2-year journey and over 86 letters, some long, some short. But it's certainly also highlighting a man's perspective in and around a lot of his unconscious parts also, and quite a bit to do with the patriarchy and how a man often tries to control or manipulate in order to get some of his needs met, but in particular his sexual needs, right? And it's about bringing that to the awareness and into the light so that we can have more free and loving experiences with each other, where we have a good beginning and a great middle and a good ending if it does end with respect and love.
Doctor, quite a bit said there. And as you are explaining, I'm just imagining inviting someone, but also having a look-see at myself. How do we navigate that terrain where I'm inviting you to be in my environment, but Sheila's still able to see Sheila and what Sheila's capable of doing within the frame of this relationship?
Yeah, thank you for that invitation to share more, right? And so this is the dance now between you and I, and it can go into really wonderful places, because I can already hear that you have an awareness of some of these dynamics, just the way you framed that, and you shared having a knowing and awareness of yourself and then going into a dynamic with someone else, right? And so you basically said the first major part there in healthy relationships, and that is, like, know thyself as best you can. Do the work, do the coaching, get therapy, read the books, etc. Know how you operate. What is your operating blueprint? If you had to hand someone an operating manual on how to operate you, right? Like, when you purchase a car, you get that big book and it tells you how everything works, or even just a vacuum cleaner, right? Like how it works, where's the on button, off button, etc. I think we need to be a lot more aware of not only how we operate, but also our own demons. In other words, when it gets hot in the kitchen, how do I operate? What are my defense mechanisms? How do I cope? How do I fight? Right? And understanding that about yourself certainly pre-paves an awareness in a relationship that you can both know and therefore both have an action plan for when it starts to come up. Most ruptures in a relationship happen where you'll find one or both partners are really unaware of themselves. And so they get triggered. And once that happens, they lose a sense of themselves and they go back into old primitive sort of ways of defending and gaining control again in the dynamic. And that's often where people get really, really hurt. So self-awareness is certainly the first step. And that means turning your eyes inwards and actually having a look and seeing what it is that's going on for you. And a lot of the letters in the book were really highlighting, particularly for men, the ability to be able to go inside and actually become emotionally aware of what is happening in the internal landscape. In other words, what is the feeling? What is the experience inside? Not outside, but inside. And so making him a little more emotionally available to himself and therefore aware. And so when his partner brings her concerns or issues, he has the awareness of it now. And so he can engage. So if he knows what sadness is in himself, he can pick that up and see and tune into that with his partner's sadness and therefore have empathy for it. And the same for anger or any other negative emotion, fear, irritation. He can pick that up in her now too, because he's gained that self-awareness first.
Dr. Neves, knowledge isn't always power. It's applied knowledge that is power. How do we shift from knowing thyself to being able to take that knowledge and apply it in context?
So context would be two human beings engaging with each other, right? So a real-time, lived-out relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic. A lot of our clients, what we do is we send them out on a vulnerability challenge, and that is to go and find 2 or 3 people that they know that they can trust and go and be vulnerable with. And so it could be Mary from the old school that they knew. It could be Peter from the library or whatever. It doesn't have to be that romantic interest. And it's about having regular contact with that person, but it's the ability to be able to engage with that knowledge now that you've gained, which is to be able to, in any given moment, share your lived experience as truthfully as you can, and therefore as vulnerably as you can with the other person, and seeing that that lands in the other. And so Peter or Mary that you've selected to have this exercise with, they're really good at listening, and they really hear you, and they really take in what you're sharing vulnerably, and they might even reflect that back to you. And so it's in that dynamic that your brain and your nervous system learns to trust other human beings. You know that there is someone out there that I can share vulnerably with. And guess what? They didn't react. They didn't get defensive. We're not in a big rupture. And guess what? They're even there tomorrow asking me how I am. I didn't scare them away. My vulnerability, my softer parts aren't scary. Somebody can contain them. Somebody made it safe for me. And so it's choosing those people to practice this with. And then ultimately, yes, in a romantic dynamic, it becomes a lot easier. But it's in real-time relationships that we learn the most.
And Dr. Neves, when it comes to decluttering self, right, I do think that one of the key factors is really being able to deal with yourself. And I think that you even alluded to that in the first hour. If you make him more emotionally available to himself, if you make her more aware of what she struggles with, then she can have the grace for the next person. What kind of journey need one take to regulate that? Because I think we are in such a fast-paced world. Everything is moving at 120 k's an hour. There's no time to stop and think and breathe. How do we navigate that?
Yeah. Well, a pause button would be great. And, some kind of cosmic remote that can really just help us go in slow motion, right? Because the human brain tracks things very quickly. Just sitting here right now, my brain every second is scanning my environment here for safety 4 times per second. If I've had trauma or I'm in any kind of hypervigilance, it'll be up to 8 or 10 times per second that my brain is processing my environment to be safe. And that would include also then being with another human being. So I would be picking up body language, micro expressions, tone, words, all of that within seconds when I'm engaging with somebody else, right? And so I immediately respond to those from a place of either openness or fear. And the fear would then make me develop my own thoughts, feelings, and opinions about what you're saying, because I can hear in your tone and see in your body language, all those little micro expressions, that you are a threat and that you're actually coming at me and you're attacking me. And so when we do our couples work, we actually literally practice slow motion conversations where we just take one sentence and we unpack the dynamic between the two people and how they are relating to the words and the tone of that sentence, that they can practice navigating through that. It's the only way. The environment, life, as you said, is so fast-paced that we have to learn in relationship to not just bypass each other. We sadly have become very selfish, and so we project a lot of our lives onto other people, expecting them to be that way very quickly and very early on, or be like that podcast, or why can't you be like that guy on that show or YouTube video or whatever it is. And so we're comparing tremendously. We're saturated with comparison and images. And so we have to become present. We have to honor the moment and really just slow it down. So a lot of our couples do intimacy exercises where they practice this weekly, slowing down, being present, really hearing each other. And, the key here that you want to look for is understanding that, let's say you were sad, like in my previous example, you need to know that your sadness has somewhere to land, right? If you have no way of getting that out and letting someone witness that with you, it stays inside. And what about anger? What about fear? What about regret? What about disappointment? If you don't have a place where you can share that with another person where it genuinely lands and you can see in their tone, their body language, their micro expressions that they get it, that they feel the disappointment with you, what happens is those unexpressed emotions become the internal clutter. And that's where you get jam-packed with a whole bunch of unprocessed emotions. Where does that go? Where does all that energy go? And so we develop disease. And let's not even go there, right? I mean, there's so many chronic illnesses, so many cancers, unexpressed energy, unexpressed feelings and emotions, because we don't often have safe spaces where people can, land their feelings. Now we've got the whole AI thing. And of course, that's been an excellent mirror and validation for a lot of people. And hopefully that'll help people just get a bit more self-awareness and feel a little bit more secure about themselves. But it's not going to give them that oxytocin feeling of bonding with another person, where that person has genuinely actually felt that feeling with them. That's what creates bonding, and it's what also then ultimately creates trust. But sadly, it seems like a lot of us are bonding a lot more with our technology and becoming cyborgs than with actual other people.
Doc, I mean, you said it. You said it spot on. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking the reality of how your day-to-day looks like. You wake up in the morning, phone in hand. You're navigating through the day, phone in hand. You're reaching people using that very phone. And then when people are in front of you, they're probably in a distraction to what it is you're trying to achieve on the phone. And that's scary. Right. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, we continue this conversation. On the line with us is Dr. Nicholas Neves, who is a homeopath and a narrative therapist, but also the author of Unbound Heart and Letters to Her. What we are currently discussing is Letters to Her and just getting into the themes and the concepts that are covered in that book. If you want to share your questions, your thoughts, your views, find us on WhatsApp +27 833 288 6684.
Parlez-vous couramment le français? Êtes-vous passionné par la radio? Et êtes-vous qualifié pour travailler en Afrique du Sud? Envoyez-nous votre CV et votre 3 minutes démo en MP3 à @channelafrica.co.za pour avoir une chance de rejoindre la famille Channel Africa. Si vous n'avez pas de réponse après 14 jours, cela signifie que vous n'avez pas été retenu. Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
Africa's voices, Africa's journeys. They're all on African Diaries.
6 minutes before the second hour of the show, we are still in conversation with Dr. Nicholas Neves, and we're looking at his book, Letters to Her. And this is an invitation. Oh, I love that statement. It's an invitation for you to join this person on this experience of a relationship, but also a moment to self-reflect. Doctor, one of the themes that you cover in the book is shrinking yourself to be loved. How do you contextualize it in this book?
So, when we are rather young, we are dependent, and we have to allow another human being, a primary caregiver, to literally keep us alive, right? And so if that love in our earliest few months, years, is not a consistent or safe or trustable experience, that little child learns very quickly to adapt and learns to manipulate itself into receiving the care that it needs, ultimately. And so this is the process in the beginning of self-abandonment, where I will abandon my needs and keep quiet and play the part, because when I do that, mommy and daddy smile and they seem happy with me when I don't do this or I don't do that. And so I become what they need me to become. So in essence, I don't become loud, I don't expand, I don't amplify myself, I shrink myself, right? I keep myself small as to not rock the boat or upset anyone or trigger anybody into a negative reaction towards myself, because that's extremely scary as a child. And so these are early defensive patterns that we learn growing up to keep ourselves safe and loved and get the nourishment that we need. And so a lot of us still, when we go into relationships when we're adults, will have that same tendency to quite early on pick up what the other person is about and what it is that they need. And so what we're doing is we're externalizing our sense of self. In other words, when that person is okay because of how I'm behaving, when they're okay, then I can be okay, right? And so this is the beginning of codependence, where as long as you're okay, right, then I can be okay. The minute you're not okay, I have to change and shrink myself and be a chameleon in order to get you back to being okay again so that I can be okay. Because when you're not okay, I pick up within you that there's a withdrawal or a rejection or an abandonment of myself in your presence. And so that threatens me to the core of being left alone, which means I could be ultimately left to die, right? And so I will do anything it takes to ultimately get your love. And it's important then that you are okay. And so I will shrink myself and make sure that you go first. And it's about your needs, not my needs, sadly. And so that is the beginning of unhealthy patterns in relationship. And a lot of us get into that. And we become codependent then on the other person.
How do we unravel that? Like, I'm listening and I'm thinking to myself, if this thing started at a tender age in your childhood, how do I untangle all those belief systems that have now allowed me to become this codependent adult?
Yeah, it's actually, I shouldn't say it's a lot easier, but there's certainly a process. There's certainly a journey that one can take. It would require one to be pretty committed, and it really is just about helping your brain positively, emotionally stack itself in and around its association with itself. So in other words, again, turning the eyes inwards and doing a exercise or a program where I am noticing myself and where I am okay, where I'm lovable, where I'm acceptable, and where I do matter and where I'm safe. As an adult now, I have to look in and see where am I those things. And literally, it's like filling up buckets, right, of acceptance for yourself, of love for yourself, and literally pen to paper writing this out and proving it to yourself. Because you would realize by now that no one outside in the world is going to give that to you. This is an inside job. And so what you'll notice is, I mean, this is going to sound really crazy and on the verge of narcissistic, but it's a healthy self-regard for someone when they can get above 100 ways they love themselves and truly, authentically acknowledging and seeing what they love. What that does is it creates a sense of security inside oneself. It anchors oneself to the extent then that if somebody does say no or does reject you or does move away from you, you have enough in the reserve bank account around positive association with yourself that it doesn't impact you or collapse you into a crisis or anxiety or a panic of any sorts. And so that's the work is a continual self-reflection. And also obviously going back to some of the earlier moments, if one can remember, where some of the earlier rejections did take place, and reframing those and looking at those from a different point of view certainly helps as well. And in narrative therapy, what we're basically doing is we exposing and externalizing the narrative. What narrative or belief are you living through? In other words, I can't be like this. I have to be like this in order to get love. That's a narrative that you've developed, right? And so we challenge those narratives and start to write new narratives that are a lot more aligned with that person's truth. And that's obviously the bit of the therapy work that we do there, but it certainly can shift. The concern, obviously, in a sort of clinical practice is you're also looking at the ability of that person who's with you to be able to self-reflect and to be able to actually pick up on the narratives that they are living through. Sadly, when the trauma is great enough and the abuse has been of such an extent, the sense of self has collapsed so deeply that they are terrified of that ever being exposed again. And so they develop a false self. And that false self now becomes this grandiose or amplified version of themselves that's bigger than, better than, superior than anybody else. And that's where we give birth to narcissism, where we enter this realm of a collapsed sense of self due to massive trauma. And now I've developed a false self to cope and get through and dominate and control life so that I never have to feel that hurt ever again.
Sure.
And yeah, you see where that comes from, right? And so it's not, narcissism is such a big buzzword these days, but that's how it develops, sadly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can't help those people with such a collapsed sense of self, because they will just constantly blame you, or because there's no accountability, right? And there's no empathy. So they won't take any account for their own rescue or being responsible for their own healing, because they don't think they're a problem. They think you're the threat, you're the problem. And so it's very difficult for those people to change their beliefs or narratives. But fortunately, the majority of us live on the other side of the spectrum there, where we certainly get into those narratives and start shifting those. But it's about, in your own lived daily experience, proving to yourself that you are okay. And that takes a lot of courage and discipline. But that's why coaching is great, because coaching is there, check in daily. Have you done your list of 10? How about tomorrow? How about next week? Are we on top of that? Have we got to 50 ways? And when you work with someone like that, it really helps somebody break through quite quickly, which is exciting.
Dr. Neves, I'm going to have to cut our conversation very short. We are time pressed. What we are going to do is perhaps host you for the next couple of weeks, because there's quite a bit that you said there. You talked about narcissism. My brain is almost imploding within itself with all the data that you've just gave us.
Right.
But I want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. This has been fruitful.
Pleasure. Thank you. Be blessed, you guys. Thanks for the opportunity. Bye now.
The voice there of Dr. Nicholas Neves, who is a homeopath and a narrative therapist with over 25 years in practice.
Conversations that touch the heart and inspire change. Here on African Diaries, only on Channel Africa. Join us on www.channelafrica.co.za.
It is 4 minutes after the top of the new hour, 11 p.m. Central African time. If you've just joined us, thank you so much for choosing us over the rest. Sheila Ndikumana, excited on this here Wednesday, the 25th of February. Hey, wait a minute. It's payday for some people. How was the payday is my question. Find me on WhatsApp. Let's talk about it. +27 832 886684. In this hour, we get a bit more intimate and we talk about confidence in the bedroom. You heard right. Confidence in that place where your love becomes very physical. And we're going to be doing this with none other than sex coach. That is Nikki Brivik, who will be joining us in just a short bit. I'd love to hear from you outside the confines or the conversation of payday. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How did you take in the conversation we just had with Dr. Neves? Find us on WhatsApp +27 832 886684.
Your passport to Africa's untold stories. Only on African Diaries. Weekdays, 10 till midnight.
I've been there so far, they also for the street. I can't scatter everything on the legit. I see courage, enjoyment, you talk say it a kilo. Under fire, the person where they be for. Plenty they follow. Sure you think say I know. fire, the person where they be for. I've been there so far, the hustle for the street. I go scatter everything on the legit. I see correct enjoyment to talk say he the kilo. Thunder fire, the person where they be for. Allow me enjoy, 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 allow me. All your friends go gather you. Grace and blessings cover you. You see this life, make money, chop money, enjoy yourself. Problems don't they finish you. If you want know the coco, you go make you the logo. Plenty blessings, plenty they follow. Shall you think say I don't know? Don't be today. I remember Sakma used be the play. I've been there so far, they also for the street. I go scatter everything on the legit. I see correct enjoyment to talk say he the kilo. Thunder fire, the person where they be for. I've been there so far, they also for the street. I go scatter everything on the legit. I see correct enjoyment to talk say he the kilo. Thunder fire, the person where they be for.
Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za.
It is 9 minutes after 11 p.m. Central Africa time. Rude Boy coming in with that one titled Enjoyment. Now, enjoyment is what we're doing on the show this evening, talking all things relationship dynamics, but also realizing that relationship starts with you. If you don't love you, if you don't take the time to get to know you, why do you expect another child to come in and get to know you better than you know yourself? Listen, while you think on that, we're going to take a quick breather, some music, and then we get even more intimate with sex coach Nikki Breivik.
África. Conhece o Ntivani? Claro que sou eu. Ntivani é o amante da música de corpo e alma. Eu amo música africana. Ele aprecia todos os tipos de melodias e passa os seus dias a ouvir a Channel África. Okay. Adivinha só, a Channel África quer ajudar o Ntivani e os amantes da música em todo o lado a descobrir ainda mais música incrível. Por isso, a Channel África está a convocar artistas africanos a submeterem as suas músicas. Músicos, lembrem-se de nos dar todas as informações relevantes no music@channelafrica.co.za. As submissões são a vossa oportunidade de ser ouvidos, mas não garantem inclusão na lista. Todas as submissões serão cuidadosamente analisadas para verificar se cumprem os requisitos da nossa estação. Canal África, a perspectiva africana.
African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
Sebenzi baba, khipha imali manje baba. Sifike blanco baba abasifuna ukuyolova ngitshela nge-Friday yange-25 wakumuntu uholisa ngeziphethe imali ungenzani ungezi noplathina swixgame singazifuna imali i-Friday yange-25 wakumuntu uholisa ngeziphethe imali ungenzani ungezi noplathina swixgame singazifuna imali ngitshela ngama-zap zap 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 hayi wena mani ungitshela ngama-zap zap 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 wazotelela wena mani awungitshela ngama-zap zap 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 ngitungitshela ngama-zap zap awufuna ukhipha imali akuthi wena asabe wena mani ngitungitshela ngama-zap zap 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 ngitungitshela ngama-zap zap 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 ungitshela ngitungitshela ngama-zap zap 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 ngitungitshela ngama-zap zap 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 howusweke
As Africa renews, so does its voices. 60 years of Channel Africa.
See, I don't look like waiting, I don't see. I will never forget the 90s. Many nights I go there beg for mercy. Sickle cell been show me crisis. Thank you for the journey, oh Lord, oh Lord. If I say my story, oh, oh. Fire can't cool, I'm ever blazing. I roll deep with the Almighty. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Can't copy this formula. I am fast I did try for myself. VIP no regular. pull up. I'll be a liquor, fuck the chaser. Bang, 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 undertaker. They scared when I pull up. Yeah, road man fear when I pull up. Only from the cartoon and I be rapping. Shout out to a gege that city raised me. Ask my crew, then they love me. Then call me AG, baby. Our government no get time for ghetto. We only get love on manifesto. I pray for my people. Ciao, ciao. I ain't fast and ciao. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Then copy the formula. I ain't fast and ciao. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Then copy this formula. I did try for myself. VIP no regular. Then copy the formula. I ain't 5-star Angel. I did try for myself.
It is 5-star by Adekunle Gold. Before that, we had DJY Smalls. We also had Zayline Dean alongside Zguje, as well as 301 Chopper coming in with that one titled Zep. And they, the lot, featured Uncool MC. We're going to take a quick breather. When we get back, we chat all things intimacy, physical intimacy in the bedroom, and developing the confidence in the bedroom with sex coach Nikki Breivik.
Es-tu préoccupé par quelque chose? Es-tu passionné par les questions qui comptent? As-tu une voix qui mérite d'être entendue? Eh bien, nous avons la plateforme parfaite pour toi. Téléphone-nous ou fais-nous un WhatsApp au +27 66 408 87 42 et nous te rappellerons. Sois dans la conversation.
Salut Channel Africa, ici Beno le diamant rouge et Binal Sport depuis le Cameroun, le pays des lions. Voilà.
Sois dans la conversation. Il ne s'agit pas seulement de parler, mais c'est ta chance d'exprimer ton point de vue, de partager tes opinions et de t'engager avec une communauté qui valorise ton avis. Suivez-nous sur les réseaux sociaux, visitez notre site www.channelafrica.co.za et préparez-vous à partager vos points de vue sur Channel Africa, la perspective africaine.
The story that moves the continent. It's on African Diaries on Channel Africa.
20 minutes after 11 p.m. Central Africa time. Now joining us is Nikki Breivik. Nikki is a professional sex coach dedicated to helping individuals and couples navigate intimacy, desire, and connection. She joins us this evening to talk about how self-confidence can boost your level of intimacy, okay? If you're thinking to yourself, Sheila, I prefer it with the lights off, okay? I don't want to see anything. I just want to go through the motions and make sure that we're all happy at the end of it all. And Nikki is here to change the context, really speak to that inner, sensual, and sexual being. Her healing methods for couples and individuals have truly been remarkable, and we cannot wait to dig deep into this particular conversation. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a minute. We're glad to have you back. Welcome to African Diaries.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Nikki, let's just start off with talking about confidence. Does the confidence I wear in the boardroom feature in the bedroom as well? Is that how confidence works?
Absolutely. You know, I think the problem is that a lot of us see sex as something that's separate to who we are, when in fact we are a whole being. And one of our very important aspects of us is our sex life, our relationships. And I think that is where it's ignored. And that's where my passion is to make people realize that we are whole people. So it is very important to foster confidence in the bedroom, because if you can take that confidence that you feel in the bedroom out into the whole world, into the boardroom, you will be unstoppable. Because when you feel desired and you're able to communicate properly and you feel powerful, in such an intimate arena, and then you can go out into the world and be this amazing creative being, then the world's your oyster.
Nikki, what are the most common views of intimacy in the bedroom that people present you with? You said that we've made it separate from our livelihoods, our daily living. How do people view sex altogether?
Well, I think the thing is that what people don't realize is that great sex is intentional. It's not accidental. Everyone can have a great sex life. It just requires work. And people know that you need to work to kind of be fit, to be healthy, to sleep well, to be good at your job, to, be intellectually stimulated. But we don't work at having a better sex life. We kind of think, okay, this is how we do it. We learn it when we're very young. And, as we kind of grow. And then what happens is we kind of learn how to have it once, twice, and then we think this is the way to do it. And we never upskill ourselves. We never upgrade ourselves. So effectively, we kind of are crawling instead of running at a pace. And I want to instill in people that we don't have to settle for less than amazing sex. And it doesn't mean that every single time you have sex has to be like this out of the world experience. But what it does mean is that if you foster this connection in your everyday relationship with your partner, it will go better. It will grow and become better, and you will have more pleasure in your life, not just in the bedroom, but all around your life. Because pleasure is something that is so special, and yet it's something that we as humans that actually kind of separates us from everyone else, every other kind of thing, is that we are able to feel pleasure. So we need to foster pleasure, but yet sometimes we kind of think that pleasure is something to be ashamed of. And I want people to embrace pleasure, because pleasure allows us to go out into the world and be better humans.
Nikki, for those who are thinking to themselves, you just said that most spend a great deal of time crawling in the bedroom as opposed to running, flying, if you will. You spoke about potential for upscaling. I mean, my brain is going, what does upscaling even look like in that context?
Okay, so that's a great question. So I actually have an equation, and an equation for erotic connection, and it's E equals MC cubed. So I give a nod to Einstein there, but so the erotic thread that we have in our life can be enhanced by those 4 aspects. So the first one is mindfulness, being present. It allows us to be right here and enjoying our bodies and enjoying our partner's bodies. Because remember, especially in today's world where we are so disconnected and, everyone is multitasking, we have these phones on us all the time, we often forget to just be present, be here, feel. Because in order for us to feel, we need to be present. We need to be in our bodies. So that's mindfulness. The next one is communication. Now, communication is the bedrock to making our bed rock. And we all find it so difficult to do. And I think the reason is we are not taught how to communicate. Now, we go to school and we learn biology. We learn reproduction. But we don't learn how to have good relationships and how to have good sex lives and how to have pleasure, how to derive pleasure from ourselves and from our partners. And so that's something we have to learn. And the problem is we also are mired in shame. We kind of grow up with this shameful notion that you can't, that pleasure is something that we shouldn't be having, that sex can, there's a saying that we should all over our sex life, because so many of us think we shouldn't want this, I shouldn't have this fantasy, I shouldn't want more. And in fact, we need to be able to let go of all that shame and communicate with our partners, because communication is lubrication. So if we can have that communication, that's the second leg of my equation. The third one is creativity. Now, the interesting thing is creativity provides the spark, the excitement, the novelty, the adventure. And I think a lot of people don't associate sex and creativity, but realize that actually this is the thing that's going to distinguish us from AI, creativity. That's what makes us human. So if we are able to bring creativity into the bedroom, can you imagine how much we can bring that creativity into every other aspect of our lives? So that's the third one. And the fourth one is collaboration. So, you know, a lot of people see sex as a performance, but sex isn't a performance. It's a collaboration with your partner. It's something that you co-create. And it's not something you can be good at without your partner. You need each other to make that magic sauce, to make that special creation between you. And so we all have that within us. So if you want to have amazing eroticism in your life with your partner, we need to acknowledge what it takes to have it, and to then purposefully go and embrace these aspects of our life so that we can make it all better. And it's all within every single person's reach to have this excitement, joy, vitality that a great sex life can bring into your life.
Nikki, as you were sharing the last C there, which is collaboration, there was a comment that came in that said it's more a fight than it is a collaboration sometimes. How do we get out of that? How is it necessary? Is it a bad thing to neglect? Talk to me.
Okay, so I love that comment, and unfortunately that is true a lot of the time, and that goes back to my first one, which was communication. Because you know what happens is we often think we like to blame. We don't learn how to communicate in a way that doesn't have blaming. And because we don't have a lot of education about this, because we're not taught it at school, we're not taught it anywhere else, and also this whole thing of kind of the silence and secrecy that surrounds sex, a lot of the time it can become a fight because we start blaming. I don't like the way you do that. I never feel, you know, you never make me feel good. And we need to learn to be able to say, how can we go ahead together? Because, you know, great sex is not a race to the finish line. And if it is, I always say it's a three-legged race. We have to learn to run together, or it is going to be a fight. So if we can learn to communicate, this is what makes me feel good, you know, share it with your partner, then it won't be a fight. But it's skills that we have to develop. So a lot of times people say to me, but how do I do that? Well, it's not easy. Communicating isn't easy, but we learn how to do it in every other aspect of our lives. And if we start without blame, with what makes us feel good, with I comments, with kindness, and with openness and curiosity. So I think curiosity is essential, because with curiosity is kind of the antidote to judgment. If you are always curious, well, what about that do you want to try? Why do you want to try that? You know, is that something that excites you? Show interest, be curious, don't shut it down. Say, no, I would never. And I find especially sex, people often say that because they think sometimes that, oh, it's something I don't know. It's not something I could do. But open your mind. Is it something that you could? Is it something that you could be brave enough to try? And you know, the thing about that is it creates intimacy, and intimacy and connection always enhances your relationship, because it's something that only you two have, that you share. It's like that private joke that only you two are in on. So enhancing that in your relationship can only make it better. But it's a skill that we need to learn, and it's a skill that, you know, if we talk about it more, not just with each other, with other people. Read about it, be educated about it. Instead of hiding sex as though it's something that's shameful, then we can hopefully move away from that fighting and find collaboration.
That is the voice there of Nikki Brivik joining us this evening, sex coach, here to help us firstly develop our confidence in the bedroom, but also respectfully grow together in the bedroom. If you want to send through your questions, do find us on WhatsApp +278 3288 6684. Nikki, I want to find out, how does one communicate distaste? Okay. So your partner was trying and experimenting, and there you were, and then you realize, nope, not my portion, not my cup, not something that I like. But you're also trying to preserve their confidence. You try not to bruise their ego, and this swings both ways. How do we communicate something that we don't necessarily like without tainting someone's confidence?
Yes. Okay. I love that. I think, we must distinguish between micro communication and macro communication. So micro communication is the communication we have in the bedroom. And there we have to be very careful. So you don't want to criticize too much, because it can really take away the joy. All those beautiful hormones that are coursing through our body, the endorphins and the adrenaline and the oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone. If you are criticizing, it shuts things down. So there are ways to do it, and there are ways to communicate the way you like something. So I always say it's a little bit, and that's why we must never fake an orgasm, because often what happens is, if you are pretending to like something you don't like, then you will always get it. So, it's like going to your mother-in-law to be and you say, I love apple pie, but you actually hate the apple pie. Guess what? For the next 50 years, you're going to be eating apple pie every time you go to your mother-in-law. So if you fake an orgasm, then you are going to be telling your partner exactly what you don't want. So how do you tell them what you do want? Well, there are ways of shifting your body. There are ways of moaning. It's a bit like Pavlov's dog. Moan when it's really good. I love to say that in the bedroom is the one time you can be a real drama queen. So moaning and sighing and breathing heavily and saying that feels good, or up, down, faster, slower, or even, you could use your hand to shift things. You could move your body so they're in the right position, or you can just kindly change things. You don't have to say, let's not do that. So it's the way in which you do it. Just always think about being kind and conveying what you want without shutting down your partner. But when you are out of the bedroom, that is when you can talk about things that you want to try, and perhaps you can lodge in a bit of a criticism there. So, timing, tone, and turf are very, very important when you're doing that macro communication. So when you're out of the bedroom, you need to talk about sex. So it's like, let's check in. What do you think of our sex life? Last night, it was really hot. I particularly loved it when you were touching my nipples like that. But maybe next time, can you not be so hard? But I must say, it really did feel so good, the rest of it. So you can sandwich it in such a way that it doesn't feel like criticism. Or, I would like to try something new next time we have sex. Do you have anything you would like to try? How can we try something new together? What appeals to you? So it's all about kind of asking and sharing in a way that can be heard, and a way that you that they can listen to you. Does that make sense?
It does. It actually does, Nikki. And I think what's interesting is that it extends beyond intimacy in the bedroom. I mean, if you're in a heated argument or if you're in a place where you need to be a bit more careful, then you would apply the micro way of communicating versus macro when it's outside the context, you know? So I absolutely love that.
And also just your tone. Be careful with your tone, not you. You never touch me the way I like it. You know, you never ask me. Don't do that. And be careful about the turf. So I always say, leave the bedroom. Don't criticize in the bedroom because it takes away all those beautiful hormones. You know, often walking or driving when you don't actually have to look directly at each other. It's a great time to communicate. So especially a lot of men, movement helps them process things. So, you know, I often take my husband for a walk when I know I want to kind of give a little bit of advice. I like to bring it up when we're walking because then he's more open to it and it feels very natural in a conversation. And being out in nature in particular is a great time to bring something that could be sometimes maybe a little bit combative or pushing out of the box. It can really be helpful when you are in nature and kind of outside of the bedroom.
And lastly, Nikki, you have a platform that I think everyone should know about. That's Ask Nikki. For those who have got more questions, they're saying, listen, I want to plunge into specific subject matters. Where do they find you?
Okay, so my website is asknikki.co.za. I'm on all the social platforms, but my main one is Instagram. It's ask.nikki, N-I-C-K-I. So ask me a question, .nikki. And I do have a book coming out in June. It's called Sexponential, How to Upgrade Your Sex Life, Maximize Your Pleasure Potential. So hopefully you can get all those tips from me if you get my book in June.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for joining us, Nikki. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you so much for having me.
The voice there of Nikki Brivik joining us this evening. She is a sex coach, a keynote speaker, as well as a corporate wellness advocate. And essentially, she was helping us firstly establish what confidence means in the bedroom, but also creating room and space for your partner to be confident so that you can both upscale. An equation that I want to share with you that she shared with us is for erotic connections with your partner, you want to have MC cubed. Okay, so M stands for mindfulness. The first C stands for communication. The second C stands for creativity. And the third C stands for collaboration. So when you're thinking of physical intimacy with your partner, be mindful, communicate, be creative, and collaborate. It is 20 minutes before the show comes to an end, 22 midnight in Central Africa time. For now, a quick breather and some music.
The whole population of Africa has been shocked to the depth of its soul.
For 60 years, Channel Africa has been the voice that connects the continent, telling our stories and sharing our vision with the world. This year, we mark 6 decades of broadcast excellence.
60 years of stories, sound, and connection.
6 years of African conversations that matter.
This is 60 years of broadcast excellence.
Rooted in Africa's heartbeat and looking boldly into the future. Join Channel Africa as we celebrate 60 years of broadcasting. Still strong, still vibrant, and still giving you the African perspective.
Channel Africa.
Africa is changing, and the world is paying attention. This March, Channel Africa invites you to be part of a new conversation. Africa Matters. A platform where experts, policymakers, and thought leaders come together to unpack the big issues of our time. Technology, politics, economics, climate change, and the future of our people. This is where ideas meet action, where change becomes opportunity, where Africa's voice takes its rightful place on the global stage. In March 2026, Channel Africa hosts Africa Climate Change Recovery Summit. Join the dialogue. Be part of the movement. Channel Africa, the African perspective. The voice of the continent, now online. with all your sports fixtures, lifestyle, and more.
Eyes on my neck, eyes on my wrist. Many days I never sleep. Every day I'm chasing good life. Roller coaster, never tire. Sender, you wish me bad. Sender. I never come down, going higher. Johnny Sisi, load down, cash up, cash out. Only maga, bill small money, ball out. Usain Bolt, run now. You get it, your clients, lock 'em. If you no get money, leave 'em. EFC symbol, Japa, Johnny Sisi, load down, cash up, cash out. Only maga, bill small money, ball out. Usain Bolt, run now. You get it, your clients, lock 'em. If you no get money, leave 'em. EFC symbol, Japa. Yeah, let you go. Hey, come on, let us show my life. Let you go. Come on, let us show my life. Tobacco, Black, for me, see them on chasing.
Well, everybody anyway, now we actually might get on me. One more dog was sick, one other was sick, cold tag with story. Oh my god, he also she look like the money to the teleneg. When you talk, you look on, Becky grow up. Oh, fashion share up, cool of a come.
Every day I'm chasing good life.
If I don't show my body,
roller coaster, never tire.
I'm a Johnny Sisi. I don't know them. If you check up, you go know say na confirma. Oh yeah, chichi, show my Tony pelu kiki.
They don't confirm.
Professor, abo mo oji wa idi. Alaye Sonny Pros, ariwo ti fẹ́ moriwo. Oh yeah, Pokoli, àwọn ilé wọn máa ń gbé bọ́jú.
Eyes on my neck, eyes on my wrist. Many days I never sleep. Eyes on my neck, eyes on my wrist. For money I never sleep, mommy I take the risk. Black for me, tobacco me jack by them cash. I want them them carnival. Oh my calo you every carnival. Maddest, I want them bad, this place on Mr. Loda, Tobari SCC Japa. Johnny Sisi, load down, cash up, cash out. Only maga, bill small money, ball out. Maddest, I want them baddest. Usain Bolt, gone now. You get it, your clients, lock 'em. Black for me, tobacco me jack by them cash. I want them carnival. Oh my calo you every carnival. Maddest, I want them baddest. This place on Mr. Loda, Tobari SCC Japa.
It's dope sticks, baby. It's STG.
The sound of Africa is evolving. Experience our new mobile app. Free to download, free to connect.
Siku ya hivi le mama aibo zamani mama shauri ya pombe nindi mbona ndilinxila nje ngenxa yamabulu babo nindi mbona ningena nkhaya nje ngenxa yabelungu babo shauri ya pombe nilimbona niliqila nje kukenxa yamabulu babo nilimbona ninganakaya nje kukenxa yabelungu babo
It is 10 minutes before the show comes to an end. Hapo Zamani is the name of that song, and that is by Somi. Before that, we had Cash App, Bella Schmurda coming through alongside Zlatan and Lincoln. A quick breather, then we talk to Morris Touch.
Africa at Play with Neto and ETO Chemane.
Lelintle, talk to us about your relationship with your father, Coach Pitso. What is this one thing that he said to you that is still stuck at the top of your head?
Coach Pitso and our mom, Moira Tlhagale, have always told us that whatever we do in life, we must do it to the best of our abilities and, represent our family well. But the big thing is do what you love and do it with all the passion that you have. And I think we see it in both their work. I mean, my mom has done a really good job with placing Coach Pitso in different clubs around the world, and she's negotiated contracts, and she's showing that as a woman you can also do work that is seen, and you can also get respect from men in a male-dominated space. And I think my dad has also shown that you must never underestimate the Black African man.
Lelintle Mosimane, a South African communications and digital media professional. Lelintle is also a daughter to a great mentor when it comes to the game of football, Coach Jingles Mosimane.
Live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Africa's voices, Africa's journeys. They're all on African Diaries.
8 minutes before midnight in Central Africa time. Time for us to speak to Morris Touch of the Afro Republic. Morris, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Sheila Ndikumana. How are you doing?
I am fantastic, Morris. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. I like the song that you're playing, Hapo Zamani. Have you ever listened to the whole album?
You know what, I have not.
It's a beautiful album. It's an album titled the Reimagination of Miriam Makeba. So it's a remake of most of Miriam Makeba's songs by Somi. Beautiful album, actually. It's Grammy nominated, but it's got a number of nominations. Yeah, if my memory serves me right, it must be Grammy nominated. If not, it did pick up quite a number of awards within the jazz circles. So it's a fantastic album to have. You will actually enjoy it, and you will love the way Somi interpreted Miriam Makeba in that album. Beautiful work.
Lovely. Speaking about beautiful and lovely work, Morris, you take over in just a short bit. What lovely and beautiful work are you bringing to us?
Right. We loving the idea that Thursday is upon us and fast approaching the weekend, and we look forward to the weekend. So it's everything that will tell you that we are slowly getting into the weekend. We are engaging into the weekend. So does the music. The music will definitely be telling the story. So there's so much music to look forward to. Music that is currently trending. Music that is making it big within the continent of Africa. We'll touch on artists that are very promising, that are written on their forehead, the future of African music. Those are the artists that we're going to be looking at and putting as well. Artists to watch, artists that will, in a few years' time, be looking back and saying, you know what, we saw them when they came into the game. We saw that they're carrying so much potential, and those are the artists that we'll be talking about today. Of course, we'll give you the connection point at 10 minutes to 3 o'clock, but otherwise it's to be great African sounds and the profiling of great African artists throughout the show.
Looking forward to that. You had me there at their artists who on their foreheads are written the future of African music. I love that. Morris, do enjoy your show, The Afro Republic. We'll catch you in just a short bit. The voice there of Morris Touch of The Afro Republic. He's with you from midnight in Central Africa time. From the team and I, it's been an absolute...
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Morris. Absolutely. From the team and I, it has been an absolute pleasure keeping you company this evening. Please do take care of yourselves. Let me thank the team that has been, perhaps not even related, but this evening we had digital specialist Mike Mukwena alongside Elaine Vengani. On technical, we had Tumelo Mukwena, and on production, we had Kitty Petla. The name is Sheila Ndikumana, and until we meet again, cheers.
From Cape to Cairo, every beat tells a story. It's African Diaries on Channel Africa.